Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. So we're gonna look at the peas that we were germinating with magnets. Now I shot another little kind of not live earlier today, and I did a little digging, like literal digging with the peas, and I found some interesting things. And I think we're going to have to kind of amend how we're doing this experiment. So let me bring you in close, and then you'll take a look with me and we'll see what I'm seeing and see if you agree. All right, so there is a close-up of the tray. Now I've got you off the tripod because we're gonna try to hold you by the hand here and give you an idea. So this is our control. That's the line of control. Then we had the magnetic tape. We had ceramic magnets, and then we had neodymium magnets. And let's take a look and see what is going on here. So this is our control right here. So these two lines right here are the control. So we're going to look at those going along, and we do have one that's germinated. It's kind of upside down, so that's why we're seeing that growth on the wrong side of the soil. Okay, so from the soil surface, we've got one germinated. Here's the magnetic strips. You can see a couple of them starting to push through, right? There's a couple of them there. And then here's the ceramic. Now, some of those are a little bit better hidden. That one's popping through. And that one's popping through. Oh, that one is definitely germinated. You can see the root heading down there. There's the root on that one. Okay, and there's the end of the ceramics. And then here's the neodymium. And I don't know if I just didn't get these deep enough or what, but the neodymium do seem to be sticking out of the soil further. But then again, there is that root tip right there. So I'm gonna use this one here, which is for the neodymium. I'm gonna try to coax him out. Okay. So we're gonna take the strongest magnet and the control, and we're gonna put them side by side. Okay, so there's one for the neodymium. And we might as well just take, let's see, I took this one earlier. We'll put this one side by side. Okay. So we're looking at our two P's. So on this side, that is the control. On this side, this is the test. That's the neodymium. So I'm taking the non-existent and the strongest and putting them side by side. And if you were asking me, looking at these, yeah, the stem seems to be a tiny bit longer. But as far as speeding up the germination, they're virtually tied. Looking at some of these others, the root tip coming up here is about the same size as this root tip coming up over here. So for right now, do magnets help speed up germination? I'm going to say it's busted. I'm going to say that is not anything that's really going to help us. Now, again, these are peas, so they germinate very, very quickly. If we had a slower germinating seed, maybe, something that's maybe a couple of weeks for germination or a month, could we cut it down using magnets that way? So let's put these back in the soil. I'm going to help them out. I'm going to put it root tip down. Put this one root tip down. So where do I fall on this? Where do I fall with magnets helping with the germination of seeds? Quite frankly, I'm going to say it's pointless for the germination, at least on vegetables, short-term vegetables. I'm not seeing really any significant difference. Now, we're going to go ahead and put this back up under the test shelf and let it grow. We're going to try to get them 3 inches tall. Maybe we'll let them go a little bit longer, and we're going to kind of just check in with them from day to day to see how it goes. and see if there is an overall height difference. But right now at this point, as far as the magnets help seed germination, I'm not seeing it, at least not with peas. We could test something else, but I think it's probably going to come out fairly similar to the same results. I'm just not seeing a difference. You know, they're both germinated on the same day. The root tips are within a millimeter or two of one another. We'd have to look at the overall height, maybe 2-3 inches on the height of the plant, and see if that has any difference. But anyway, it was kind of a fun experiment. So we'll call the germination point. No, I don't see any difference between the control and the strongest magnet. And there's not really any difference in between. I think they're all about the same. So, you know, for this to be true, we'd expect, you know, a day earlier, 2 days earlier, but I just don't think we're going to get that with peas. So there we go. There's that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Stay tuned for the next video when we look at the final height of the peas and see if it makes a difference up to 2 or 3 inches. We'll see. Anyway, Ag Teacher Thoughts out. All right, so if you stayed for my funny faces for the thumbnails, thanks, YouTube. We have to do weird looking faces for the videos to get noticed, so I hope you enjoy that. So.